When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, better magic trick said anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest, that he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. Holy water wasn't rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Child's face, say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest, that he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. Holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath, like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Good morning and welcome to our Sunday celebration. Welcome to all of our viewers locally and globally, whether you're live on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or watching us on a rebroadcast. Thanks for joining us. My name is Julia Mattis and I'm a licensed practitioner, the co-leader of the women's group, and president of the board of trustees here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Before we start, we would greatly appreciate, for those of you that are on Facebook, if you could share this live stream to help us spread our message of love. Whoops. I'll pause for you to do that now. Just right down there in that little corner, hit the share button. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our work as a community is to illuminate the spirit truth that we all belong to each other. And in that, we advocate for the honoring of diversity, equity, and inclusion with respect to ability status, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, race, religion, and sexual orientation. As we open our service, we acknowledge that here in Howard County, we are on the unceded traditional lands of the Piscataway tribe of the Algonquin. We honor the Piscataway community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. Here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we live the truth of who we are through our identity, our vision, and our mission statements. So if you would repeat with me at home, our identity statement is: we are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. And our vision states that we are contributing to a world that works for everyone. And finally, we carry out that vision through our mission statement. And again, if you'll join me, we are a welcoming, inclusive, spiritual center where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. And now, I ask you to set an intention for the week. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now, as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together today. And you can share your affirmations or your intentions in the chat for those of you on Facebook, and we can support you. We have a saying here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living that singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song. This week, we are so blessed to have back Theta Phoenix from White Rock, British Columbia, Canada. Theta is an accomplished musician, songwriter, vocalist, and sound healer. Please help me welcome the amazing Theta.
This song is called Legacy, and it was written as an affirmation and a visualization about the future that I want to see us living into in the world. And it was written from the perspective of, it is already so. This is what we've created from the future, looking back, embodying and feeling into the energy of our vision becoming real. This is Legacy. have abolished all toxins. Our oceans are clean, and the whales and salmon rocking. Together humanity has planted the seeds that have given a rebirth to a world of peace. Light shone from the eyes of love. Your voice touches the hearts of all, inspiring the courage, freedom to act, freedom to choose, dream and dance, to do what's right, and take a chance on This life has been a journey to remember how to take the reins of reality, harness the power of now, to awaken to the center, to awaken to the dream. We are the source, creating it all in the greatest game in the universe. Yeah, the light shone from the eyes of love. Your voice touches the hearts of all, inspiring the courage, freedom to act, freedom to choose, dream and dance, to do what's right, and take a chance on life.
Wow, thank you, Theta, for that amazing gift and actually that amazing visualization and affirmative prayer almost that was in that music. So thank you for sharing that intention. So if this is your first time experiencing the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or whatever your spiritual path is, you are welcome here. We invite you to visit our website at columbiacsl.com to learn more about our community, replay past services, and find articles and other resources of interest. And please check out the calendar on our website for all the events and opportunities that we have coming up to gather with this amazing community. So first of all, let me hit some of the highlights of some of the upcoming events. And a big, huge thank you to everyone who participated in the bake sale last weekend. For those of you who turned up the heat and created such delicious goodies to share, your efforts helped us raise over $300. We smashed our goal, and we certainly had a lot of fun. If you're new to our community, or if you want to brush up on who we are and what we believe, please join Dr. Nadene tomorrow evening, and that's May 16th at 7 p.m. for our next discovery class. And if you're thinking about becoming a member here at Columbia CSL, the discovery class is one of our few requirements, so we sure hope that you'll consider attending. Two amazing events that we have coming up that you definitely do not want to miss. The first one is the Sacred Prayer Circle, scheduled for May 25th. I believe that's a Wednesday, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's with Dr. Nadene. Please take this opportunity to share your desire and receive support in releasing it into the action of law. And then on Sunday, June 5th, we'll have our annual cookout, Rain or Shine. There's a link on our website calendar under June 5th to sign up, RSVP, and let us know if you can bring something to share. But that's optional, you don't have to. And finally, during this month's exploration of emotions and the power of affirmative prayer, we invite you to consider connecting with one of our licensed prayer practitioners by email or after any in-person service for a 1-minute miracle. Whether you are feeling particularly challenged by life circumstances or want to create more peace, more abundance, more well-being, or just need more clarity to attain your goals, please consider asking for prayer support. We are here for you, but you need to reach out. So you can email us at prayer@columbiacsl.com. Wow. So, for all the links and all the rundown of all these amazing events that I have listed and many more that are coming up, please check them out on our website calendar. And again, that's columbiacsl.com/events, or feel free to email us at info@columbiacsl.com. All right, time to gear down. Consciously engage in spiritual practice together. I invite you to settle in, center yourself in this moment now, and find that sacred place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading by Zita Johnson Betts, a guided meditation and affirmative prayer by practitioner Rebecca Bell, and then more music for the soul by our amazing guest artist, Theta Phoenix. Zita?
Good morning, Columbia CSL. Good morning. Our reading for today is The Heart Knows by Deborah Perdue in the Science of Mind magazine, May 7th, 2022. We begin with a quote from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and I'm hoping I pronounced the name correctly. He's such a well-known author. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Let's read that again. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Then from Ernest Holmes, 365 Science of Mind. Beautiful, uplifting feelings of harmony, peace, and love flow through me like a river, elevating my consciousness to a new and higher level of acceptance and unity. I am grateful to notice what my heart tells me and how it responds. I am assured that I can trust my heart and intuition much more than my logical mind, as my brain often caters to my ego, whereas my heart never does. About 10 years ago, I met with some potential clients. I felt a bit nervous about being interviewed. Within just a few minutes, to my astonishment, they let me know they chose me and my company for their book design needs. We had barely talked, and I will never forget what they explained. We listen to our hearts when making decisions, Deborah. This truly changed my perspective. Now, I usually listen to my heart, always with beneficial outcomes. Sometimes I am guilty of forgetting the precious gift of listening to the deep love in my heart. And yet, time and time again, I can count on this amazing resource. It is omniscient. I know my heart is the wise one within. Now, please join me in this affirmation. I am so thankful to see rightly while listening to my heart's wisdom. And so it is. Namaste, everyone. Namaste.
Oh, and so it is. As we move into meditation, I invite you to settle into this moment. Make your body comfortable. I'm going to do that. And close your eyes if that's available to you. Take a deep breath in, feeling the air moving into your body. Perhaps you're feeling it in your nose, your chest, your belly. Exhale and feel your body relax. Inhale Knowing the air you're breathing is the same air that I'm breathing, that we're all breathing. As you exhale, release. Feel the release in your body. Breathe in. Notice your body. Notice the sensations throughout your body. Breathe out, feeling this subtle difference in your body as you empty your lungs. Breathe in, noticing those sensations. Breathe out, feeling the body. This is the presence. This is the moment. This is the attention of God, with God, as God. As we focus on the breath and the subtle changes in the body, allow those sensations to easily flow and catch your attention. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. It is from this place of peace, of awareness, of love, that we can hear and notice the still small voice of God, the desires of our heart, the living prayer. So join me in this affirmative prayer. As we feel one with our bodies, knowing we are one with all that is, this oneness, this connection is God. For God is all there is. There is nothing but God. And the God that is me, the God that is you, the God that is all of us, that is what we are. And we can feel it with our bodies, that sensation in our body, that acknowledgement of the divine expressing itself as each one of us. What a joy, what a blessing, what a cool feeling. So what I know today is that today, as we're here together in virtual love, we're celebrating joy, we're celebrating peace, we're celebrating life. We are taking into acknowledgement and knowing and understanding on a deeper and deeper level that all life is prayer. So we are more and more intentionally living our life in prayer, in prayer. And so I am grateful for this time together to focus on that, to think about that, to take that into our life as prayer. I am so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for this service of celebration with each one of us, and knowing that the ripples that are occurring in the joy and celebration today are the ripples that are occurring in joy and celebration in our life. As we see only peace, only joy, only love, everything that is not that can be dissolved. So we gratefully take in this love and this peace and this feelings in our body, in our sensations, knowing that this is the body of God. And so I release this word into the law that is, yes, that is the truth. The law is the manifestation of this desire of peace, of this desire of love, of this desire of connection, of community. And so with great love and peace and joy, I release this word with together saying, and so it is.
One of my favorite things to do is to open up to the intention of the moment and let the music flow. See what comes out. Oh, beloved, beloved one, I ask to receive. Oh, hear me now. In deep communion, please allow my desire to manifest. I open to trust. If it is meant to be, then the higher will come and set me free. And I know I can trust the guidance to let go and just receive. 'Cause I am one with spirit, I am one with loving source. I am co-creating with this sacred universal force. And we are one and opening to allow the gifts that I receive for the highest good of all. And I let myself open to the feeling of letting it all come through. And I let go of fear, I let go of trying to control. And I surrender to let Spirit take hold of working your magic. I am so grateful we can have this thing we've been waiting for. I allow myself to receive and be supported here. This is the magic of wizardry, becoming one. Sacred union, surrendering and knowing, allowing it to come. This beautiful thing. Thank you, thank you. It is done.
Wow. Thank you, Zita. Thank you, Rebecca. And thank you, Theta, for that beautiful time of spiritual practice. My takeaway today, ripples of virtual love. In this community, our practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you and for you. Feel free to email your request for prayer or counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and we will hold your truth in prayer throughout the week. And now, continuing our theme of emotion and the power of prayer, it is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Reverend Dr. Nadene Rogers, with her message, The Wizard of Cause. Dr. Nadene.
Thank you. Hey, good morning. Good God morning, Columbia CSL, and welcome to all of you joining in. So why are we here? Why are you here? You know, whether it's to count our blessings or find some, I think we're drawn into a place and space where exists a field of infinite potential and connect to that within, the nature of all being, to connect with that sacredness of who we are. As we continue to explore this month's theme, emotion and the power of affirmative prayer, we come to address becoming, I love how Theta said, our wizardry, right? Becoming a wizard of cause, which to me means developing a mindset which thinks and acts in that certain way, a way in which we feel the creative power of the universe right at hand, a sense of life we extend outward that sustains our hope and inspires us to take up the call to consciously awaken our spiritual magnificence and enjoy our human journey. Now, I know all that's a mouthful and perhaps too ideal in the hearing, perhaps within which is a spark, however, of truth that is felt and can't be denied by the ear. Now, regardless of where each of us is as travelers, one thing is for sure, it is an emotional ride. The bridge from sensing life is about surviving, which I think certainly we all are responsible to get those basic needs met. But the bridge from believing it's about surviving to creating a thriving experience or existence is unique to each of us. And it takes, however, a common human perseverance, faith, and as Theta's saying, she pulled the words, surrender. She said, surrender to the spiritual intelligence, which is sourced right within, right where we are. I think we in general are geared, however, to survive first and not thrive. The spiritual inner work is often considered indulgent and non-essential, as most of its byproducts and services out there are often reduced in price and found at a very low price point compared to other things that are deemed valuable. You know, I remember a former board member of mine 20 some years ago. I remember he said in frustration, he said, Nadene, why don't folks give more in the plate for their spiritual nourishment? You know, it seems they value a meal or a movie so much more. And I responded, you know, it's just that we've been led to believe that our value lies in having and doing and not being. That's all, you know, and it takes a while to shift collectively that consciousness. I think our minds, of course, are trained by media and marketing to see value where it's not, and no value when it is imperative that learning self-compassion, inner peace, and self-responsibility, and other inner self-care practices will set our priorities straight. You know, we have grown up trained as masters of effects, illusionists, of the vanishing and reappearing conditions, and hanging our hats on the image we carefully craft in doing so. Being instead a wizard of cause, spending our time accessing, contemplating, visioning, visualizing, and using our greatest gift, affirmative prayer, are the means by which we become permanently connected to all life as conscious creators of our own reality in the face of life happening around us as it is. As masters of effects, we develop, I think, our identity by outer relational communications, right? Not inner ones. And let our inner relationship with self simply become a byproduct of our responses, our reactions, or judgments to that which affirms this identity. As a master of effects, that illusionist, we live to survive, exhibiting survival behaviors, mindsets, decision-making processes, goals, and priorities that are all created based upon how we show up more than who we are when we are showing up. Right? I love it. I've said it a million times. Eckhart Tolle saying, If the quality of our consciousness creates our reality, what creates the quality of our consciousness? When we're geared to survive, we are led by our ego. And when we begin to ask the why question one too many times, it's then we can awaken to observe that we are very good at spiritual bypass, at building codependent relationships that enable others. And we take on more responsibility than what is ours to do. Further to this, we will discover that we are not being in integrity with our own values, the values of our soul, right? That emanate from our spiritual truth. Now, I'm certain that not one of us listening does not relate to the afore described in part. I know I do. Spiritual bypass? And it is time, I think, to become, or at least explore, becoming a wizard of cause and let the role of the master of effects take a break, a long break. It is time to do whatever is asked of us as we listen to divine guidance, trust our gut, honor our innate intuitive sense, embrace emotions, throw off the shackles of outer authority, and begin thriving. As a wizard of cause, we're programming ourselves to be inspired by the intention to discover and reveal our true spiritual nature. This, in turn, allows us to engage in the world of effects or conditions as our guide to a life rich in happiness, love, and success. When we're geared to thrive, we are so much clearer on what is ours to do for our highest and best, and we build the courage to do that. Because we do learn that the highest and best for me does not exclude others, no matter the immediate response or reaction we may get from others. Emotional ride? You bet it is. When we learn to course correct to the direction of thinking and acting that serves our soul essence, our spiritual true nature, a lot changes and can change quickly, leaving both us, the intender, and those in relationship with us in a feeling that's ungrounded, maybe uncomfortable in communication with us in the beginning, and can initially give way to feelings of vulnerability and separation. And that's really hard for us to watch because we often think we've done something wrong or we've hurt someone. But it couldn't be farther from the seed of our intention. These changes can seem out of the blue and leave us, the intender, also feeling very lost and isolated, right? Always building bridges, are we, right? From this idea of surviving to thriving. So much we need to let go of. We're headed to a life of thriving, beyond managing, beyond creative financing and behaviors of fight and flight or withdrawal. And at the same time, we strongly feel the need to just grab on to these old ways to feel grounded, if only for a moment. Do it. But just know that we can't go back. Once we hear the call, once we start awakening to what is possible, we can't unhear it, right? Once consciousness has expanded in our own mind, it cannot shrink. That is not the process of conscious evolution or expansion towards greater expression and experience. So feeling like we've been dropped in a void, we must learn to play in the void. Fortunately, in metaphysical teachings, we know that God or infinite mind does not know a void, doesn't recognize a pause from ongoing action from the universal creative law of mind. And it is precisely at this point of awareness we realize that playing in the void means setting to pray affirmatively. That's the moment, merging our mental state in the expansion of infinite intelligence where all exists already. Right? It is precisely at this point, because we must take action in addition to working on the mental and spiritual plane in prayer, such as letting others handle themselves so that we do not get distracted from what it is we need to do and be, to reveal taking greater responsibility for creating a thriving life. So let us not get distracted by the projections of our survival mentality on the other and spin the wheel of judgment and blame and defensiveness or justification, but instead pray, affirming our capacity to simply, lovingly, directly share our truth. I think that is all that is I think that's all that's really required. I want to share a personal story with you. The last 4, 5, 6 weeks, I've attracted several energy workers. And you may have guessed, you might not have guessed, or maybe you're meeting me for the first time, but I've always operated on this idea that I need to be strong. I need to take great responsibility in my life, and I need to prove my capacity, right? So I thought, you know what? I think I need to take a breath, take a pause, reevaluate, and do more spiritual practice, amp it up. And in that, these people I attracted, and they were offering just to support me. And I went, okay. So in one of my sessions, I became aware of the need, as I just shared, above all else, to prove my strength and capacity to others. I thought, but then I realized it. It was to prove it to myself. Why? Well, most importantly now, as I'm aging, so that I still feel relevant, valuable, and gifted. I further discovered that when I get into the survival state of ego mind, I blind myself to other options. Does that happen to you? Such as I said, stepping back and asking questions like, hey, what would happen if I didn't need to prove my strength and capacity? Would I lose something? Or would I gain something? For years I lived unaware that I got into this state, for the validation and acceptance of others. And now that I have this awareness that it is my own validation I am seeking, I again turn to the divine within to speak truth and be the cause of a preferred experience of choice. The choice I'm talking about is where I do set boundaries, but they're about self-honor, not self-protection, where feeling uncomfortably vulnerable for me has turned into an opportunity to be self-attentive, where I can just accept as I am because I am enough, because I exist. I think our relationships with others and with ourselves and with the God of our understanding are all a mirror of past and current beliefs, right? And this is where we get to practice setting new intention and new belief patterns that move us into the experience of thriving in life. As we form a sacred union in spirit, as both a feeling and knowing, and through our intentional demonstrations, it all begins by becoming clear about what we desire and intend, right? And our emotions are, of course, byproducts really of a deep feeling, right? A feeling sense. And what we're looking for in affirmative prayer is to feel, to embody the truth that everything we could possibly desire or want to shift in order to thrive in life is already fulfilled, right? Because everything has already been given. Everything already exists for the, in the old terminology, asking, in our terminology, for declaring as true, right? And it's ours to understand how we feel as this embodiment is true, as our desire is fulfilled. How are we going to act? Believing that we've already received. You know, for the law to work for us most effectively, we need to develop a wizard's mentality and be clear about what is behind the thing. What is behind? What is the cause, the mental cause behind the thing or the condition we are experiencing? Here's a story that illustrates exactly to me what is behind the thing, what is behind the condition before us. So it goes like this. In a small town, it's an Italian town, hundreds of years ago, a small business owner owed a large sum of money to, what did they call them? Loan sharks, right? Those that charge exorbitant interest on money when you're in need. So now this loan shark was a very old guy that just so happened to fancy the business owner's daughter. Now, he decided to offer the businessman a deal that would completely wipe out the debt he owed him. However, the catch was that he would only wipe out the debt if he could marry the businessman's daughter. And of course, by the father, this proposal was met with a look of great disgust. The loan shark said he would place 2 pebbles into a bag, one white and one black. The daughter would then have to reach into the bag to pick out a pebble. If it was black, the debt would be wiped, but the loan shark would then marry her. If it was white, the debt would also be wiped, but the daughter wouldn't have to marry him. So standing on a pebble-strewn path in the businessman's garden, the loan shark bent over and picked up 2 pebbles. Whilst he was picking them up, the daughter noticed that he'd picked up 2 black pebbles and placed them both into the bag. Such a master of effects. He then asked the daughter to reach into the bag and pick one. The daughter naturally had 3 choices as to what she could have done. Refuse to pick a pebble from the bag, take both pebbles out of the bag and expose the loan shark for cheating, or pick a pebble from the bag, fully well knowing it was black, and sacrifice her for her father's freedom. Well, she drew out a pebble from the bag and before looking at it, accidentally dropped it into the midst of the other pebbles, saying, "Oh, how clumsy of me. Never mind. If you look into the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked." Well, the pebble left in the bag was obviously black. And seeing as the loan shark didn't want to be exposed, he had to play along as if the pebble the daughter dropped was white and clear her father's debt. Well, the moral of the story, I'm sure you've already figured it out for yourself as relevant. It's always possible to overcome a tough situation through out of the box thinking and not give in to the only options you think you have to pick from. This to me clearly illustrates moving from having a mindset of a master of effects to a wizard of cause. This is thinking outside the box by practicing affirmative prayer, which leads us to serve God in a way that identifies our mental cause hidden in pure sight, or even if it's deeply embedded in the shadows of our subconscious. This is key. As for every condition in life, there exists a creative mental pattern of belief as it's caused. And I realize that you have prayed many times in life and become discouraged. And so you think perhaps that prayer doesn't work or you're not doing it right. So it is definitely a training in a new way of connection with the spiritual source of all life that lives and is accessed right within you. And it's called affirming that which already is, declaring that which we decide is true, is already within our experience, within our grasp. It's declaring that we are magnificent, not limited. So it's a real mind shift. But that shift over time will create for us a mindset that leans into wizardry, right? Leans into the opportunity to know truth about who we are, what is happening, others, despite the feeling or emotion that may be coming up triggered from something past or some belief that is opposing it. So to pray affirmatively is to use prayer as a declaration, a confirmation, a commandment. It's not a form of begging or asking for relief, because that presents us as a victim of our circumstances, and that is not part of our source connection. Remember, we can't be a victim and a powerful co-creator at the same time. Prayer is an affirmation of our connection to source, a confirmation of our potential, and a commandment that we use to move energy in new directions, frequencies, and vibrations. This feeling of ascension or expansion is a journey into divine congruence, which is a process of moving from healing cycles to wholeness and multi-dimensionality. Now, healing, or as I like to refer to it as holing, is a very important part of ascension, but every healing cycle must end, and using powerful prayer affirms the closure with limitation, powerlessness, fear, and victim consciousness. And as we awaken, we creatively use this potential to also awaken new possibilities in our field of potential in the world we live in. So use prayer as a declaration of your creative power, right? Use prayer to command energy, to move, not to wish for relief. Know that each prayer is always heard and always answered in the right time and under the right circumstances. And when it is prayed with trust, as an affirmation of our power and our co-creative connection to source. So when we're moving from survival to thrival, we are doing so by measure of choosing to live a spiritual life. We can recognize in places our own process or of evolution or of spiritual evolution. And I always like to use Dr. Michael Beckwith's 4 stages of spiritual growth to kind of connect in a moment. Oh, where am I now, right? Stage 1, he says, we think that life does it to me, right? Stage 2, life does it by me. I'm a little more involved in what happens in the condition of my life. Stage 3, he says that life does it through me. So now I'm conscious of the connection with spirit, right? And stage 4, life does it as me. Life does it as me. This is where we trust ourselves and listen to our intuition. You know, we're the sacred witness to our lives, seeing the divine potential existing in all. And we live in present moment awareness and deep, deep gratitude. Silence, stillness, nurturing, nature become part of our everyday. We learn to practice the acts of selfless service and the art of giving unconditionally. Here, when we know life does it as me, or God is expressing as me, we know our love and supply is sourced within, and we walk in life unattached to outcomes and reactions, and carry within our mind and heart cheerful expectancy for our good. We honor the divine in all and can live well in the world by realizing our connection to it without letting our focus or our attention divert from the one power. So as we use prayer to firmly establish the divine in our lives, so our prayer becomes a tool for both setting intention, trusting the divine unfoldment of the universal creative process, and how we are showing up and manifesting our heaven on earth. Now, you probably know from the title that I might just break out into song. And so we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Cause. We know we are a whiz of a whiz. If ever a whiz there was, if ever, oh, ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because because of the wonderful things we does. Oh, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Cause. So thriving isn't about living lives in a way whereby we identify ourselves as the co-creator of our reality, all of it. Yes, it is about that, every last piece of it. So let's play in the quantum field of possibility as our sandbox. Let's give ourselves a space to think and act creatively and become empowered in the being of the energy of that which we desire. Thriving is about identifying ourselves as cause, not effect. Thriving in life is not a matter of who do we serve, the God self or the ego self. As we have learned, we must serve both to feel spiritually connected. But thriving is a matter of being clear on which one we let lead. You are a blessing, and so it is.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Nadene, for that most inspiring and uplifting message, as well as that fabulous song at the end. That was awesome. If you'd like to take a deeper dive into today's talk, please join Dr. Nadene after this service for our virtual after chat. The link is the same link that we use every other week when we are virtual. And please join us next week as we come together in person at the Hawthorne Center with Eugene Holden, practitioner, speaking on I Am the Peace in the Storm of Emotions. Our guest musician next week is our very own beloved Jamie Hudson Craig. And if you can't be with us in person, you can always join the live stream through Twitch TV, on our YouTube channel, or on our Facebook Live page. And we've discovered that if you're having trouble with any of the live streams, please switch over to one of the other platforms, and that may work better for you. And so now, once again, it is my pleasure to introduce once again Theta Phoenix.
I wrote the song a few years ago about being one with God. My spirit lives for freedom to break through all chains of illusion, to know myself as an infinite sun and walk through this beautiful world as the one. We are all
Thank you, Theta, for that fabulous, fabulous song and for your gifts today on our service. We appreciate so much your gifts and talents. Be sure to check out Theta's website at thetaphoenix.com or check her out on YouTube for more uplifting music and sound healing meditations. And so now it's time for our conscious giving, an opportunity to participate in the marvelous, magnificent law of circulation. We know that we have to receive as well as give, so we invite you to let your divine inner wisdom choose the blessing of joy, as displayed on your screen right now, that calls to you as a gift you give yourself. Keep it with you all week long and remember how much you are loved. Wonderful. And now we can complete the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love, gratitude, abundance, and just this deep, amazing appreciation for this service today, allowing them to fill you and to fill the space around you. And now let's use the power of our word by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. Say it with me. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe blesses and multiplies this offering. And so it is. We offer easy ways to donate your offering. You can make a one-time or reoccurring donation through our website at columbiacsl.com, or you can text your donation to us at 410-498-6175. Or for those of you prefer, you may drop it in the mail or swing by and drop it off at the office. Our address again is on the website. We receive and appreciate your gifts and tithes. Thank you for supporting us so that we can remain a vital and thriving center for our collective spiritual nourishment. And we know that as we give with gratitude, we receive in deep gratitude. And again, please, would you join me as we bless and receive every gift bestowed upon Columbia CSL. Together, we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Whew, what a service, what a service. On behalf of our entire community, thank you for being part of our spiritual family today and every week when you join us. And we certainly look forward to seeing you again. At the end of service, again, we hope you'll check out the announcement slides that will circulate and our website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events to make sure that you know everything that's coming up in our community and every possible way that you can join us. And again, as a reminder, our after chat with Dr. Nadene will follow immediately after this service. You can find the link again on our website calendar under today's date, or we'll post it in the Facebook chat, I believe. And now it's my pleasure to once again bring back Dr. Nadene to close our service with a benediction.
I think just asking us all to just join in consciousness together and remember this one simple truth. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is our life now. You are a blessing. Life is a blessing. And so it is. Amen.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing, God is. Where is playing boldly in and out and through me as me. Oh, oh, do do do. Oh, hey, yeah. Whether I am, where I stand, whether I play, where I work and breathe and move and feel, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and leave. God is, life is, joy is, oh, God is.
Faith Rivera. Wherever I am, God is. Beautiful. This is Ben Dowling, Miles Joseph, Joy, Jukes, ERG, Idris Hester on percussion. Wherever I am, God is.